Ladies and gentlemen, I bid you welcome to the 6th, final and concluding day of the GGvision Liquid Colosseum with our pro gamer gladiator of this week, Liquid HayprO, here spawning as the blue Zerg in the 9 o'clock starting position of the legendary battlefield that is Shattered Temple. His opponent and challenger on this final day is Happy, here as the red Terran at the 6 o'clock, that will be scouted very soon by Liquid HayprO's overlord. Happy is of course a very well-known Russian Starcraft 2 player as well as Warcraft 3 professional. He played Undead and was, and I quote, the best Warcraft 3 legend to come out of Russia, many people say. He has been doing a tremendous job in Starcraft 2, winning many of the weekly cups that's ongoing, and I'm sure you've seen him in several tournaments and other YouTube casts. He's quite a name to be reckoned with. Happy will be a formidable opponent here on this final day, and I have not watched these games before. These replays were given to me by the Team Liquid Pro staff, and I told them that I don't want to miss out on the first-hand impression that watching them for the first time gives, but if you would recommend one to save for last, saving the best for last, which would it be? I got this answer. This one will be the final and concluding game of this week, and it will be worthy of that position. Barracks now being placed on top of the ramp, which is the safe way. We have seen other unorthodox wall-ins being used this week with varied results, but this is how you're supposed to do it if you want to be safe. And Happy, he is safe and calculated if anything. Liquid HayprO, true to form, goes for nothing but drones, droning up like a madman. It seems like he's going for a quick expansion as well, a 15 hatch build, and this is of course very economical, and if he can get away with it, it will give him a head start, but Happy will scout it within seconds, and given the fairly close start position, they're not the closest possible, but even so he could put on a lot of early aggression. We could see a bunker rush, for example. Marines now on the way, yet to build any add-on of course, and meanwhile we see gas as well as orbital command now on the way for Happy. HayprO moving his overlord away in the safety of this high ground so it won't be sniped by the early marine, and now Happy is up here in HayprO's business. We see spawning pool already started, but not the quickest Zerglings will be out this game, so Happy still has a window of opportunity. Gas now finished for HayprO, and indeed we see the first marine. We will see a bunker. Yes, indeed, a bunker is on the way. Happy has seen the opportunity of putting on early hurt with a few quick marines and a bunker. This is not too costly for a Terran player. He can afford to throw away these resources if it holds the Zerg player back, and it's already doing that. 3 drones that are not mining are currently out trying to deal with this quick bunker going up, and the spawning pool is not even finished yet. This, ladies and gentlemen, could prove detrimental to our Liquid Gladiator. We'll just have to see. The marine now being chased away, but the bunker is still building. The SOE being microed around, now being killed though. And since Happy is not reinforcing with more marines, we must see this bunker rush as concluded. But the marine is still out here, so we could still see a few kills coming out of it. But 2 queens now on the way should be able to deal with this. But he might still get this drone, it's not impossible. It looks indeed like he will, so first blood will go to Happy. Congratulations, Happy. And now what will be the follow-up, we wonder. A reactor now being placed here on the barracks next to these this inconspicuous factory. I smell Hellions, ladies and gentlemen. This factory will be placed here, and we will be seeing Hellions coming out. This could prove very fatal indeed. Happy will follow up this early aggression with a bit more flame. Spinecrawler being placed here, that will be able to take down the bunker and provide some defense against the Hellions, but they can easily run in here, so HayprO will have to deal with this somehow, and he should anticipate it, I do believe. Hellions now on the way, double Hellion production way out, and the barracks being rerouted. Meanwhile, we see only 1 gas harvesting as of yet. He needs minerals to those Hellions. They are not so gas intensive, and the Spinecrawler now being more than halfway done, but Hellions will be here momentarily, and I don't think HayprO can do too much about it. He's got 6 Zerglings in production, and speed is almost done, and he will be fighting the Hellions on creep, so he's got a fighting chance, but I sense that he might be losing more drones in the process. Here they come. 1 Spinecrawler is up, but that won't be enough. HayprO placing his queen here on the ramp to provide blocking against the Hellions, and they retreat for the moment. He is waiting for more reinforcements to join the fray, and further Hellions are built. So at least 6 we will see in this onslaught, and it seemed like, yes indeed, HayprO tried to use his barracks to get vision on the high ground and slay that overlord, but he did not succeed in doing so. Now we have 6 Hellions out, and together they will be able to put on a lot of hurt. The Spinecrawler, burrowing just in time, but still it's very much forward, and the Hellions could easily sneak up here if HayprO isn't on the ball, and otherwise they could easily get in here. The Zerglings are positioned among the drones, but this is definitely a precarious situation for a Liquid Gladiator. Meanwhile, we see a command center being built here by Happy, so he is not going all in by any means, going for a tech lab now as well on his barracks. So this will be an economic follow-up, and if he can cause some damage here to HayprO, I mean, they are fairly even. HayprO ahead just by 2 harvesters. He can claim a very strong position in this early game, but as of yet he is stalling, he is waiting. He's actually got a whole bunch of Hellions waiting here in the middle. He does not want to disclose his full Hellion count. He does not want HayprO to know exactly what is going on. And this is a lot of Hellions, ladies and gentlemen. This is a lot of dedication. Without Blue Flame though. So we see 10 Hellions out now versus 21 Zerglings. So this is a game of positioning and of cat and mouse. Seems like HayprO wants to take the first step, managing to surround one Hellion, sniping it in seconds. And the other ones don't look too good either. If they position themselves correctly, they can get into a nice corner and roast some Zerglings, but taking very few losses. HayprO managed to take down 3 of the Hellions, but he does not know about these ones. He does now. 7 or so Hellions, indeed, burning all of the Zerglings away. Queen being placed on the ramp, this can get roasted very easily, and that Spinecrawler doing very little in order to defend it. Now we see 4 evolution chambers going down as walls, but it does not make a difference. He is roasting so many drones. 13 kills on the work account so far for Happy. Roasting this Queen now, doing tremendous and terrible damage indeed. These evolution chambers are a desperate measure to provide a wall-in. Zerg players, of course, have the greatest difficulty in creating wall-ins given the nature of their race, but now Hellions are up in the main base. He's lost a few, only got 3 of them left, but 3 Hellions can still cause a lot of havoc. And he has very little defenses up here, and the drones are just standing on line waiting to get roasted. The Hellions are very few and injured right now, but still he's causing so much damage. They aren't even Blue Flame. Finally he is getting rid of the Hellion threat, but all that damage, ladies and gentlemen, 24 workers killed for Happy. Must be happy about that indeed. This evolution chamber is entirely in the way of this vest being GGvision. HayprO will have to destroy that when harvesting gas, if it ever comes to that. So a clear advantage indeed for Happy in this early game. However, HayprO is not out yet. He's got Zerglings out and about, but Happy is yet to actually land his new command center. Very smart and calculated play by our Russian pro gamer here, formerly Warcraft 3 champion. He's got no fewer than 4 barracks. Very soon he will have 4 completed barracks and a starport on the way. Now building siege tanks, and he has, yes, he's now also researching siege mode. Now is the time to move out, says Happy, because he's got enough forces to defend his fresh expansion, and HayprO will try to prevent it, but these Zerglings won't be able to do anything. Happy can raise the supply depots, and HayprO won't be able to get in there. Very nice defensive play, but actually he is allowing himself to be cornered and losing all the Marines, and the tanks will be lost as well. This is all that HayprO needs, ladies and gentlemen, to get back into this game. The smallest opportunity, the smallest chance, and now he has denied this expansion for the time being, taking down a quite nice number of Marines and 2 very expensive tanks. This will delay the follow-up timing push of Happy by quite a deal. Now we see the Spinecrawler being repositioned and extractors being constructed. He will still have to take this one down though. Looking again, the same number of workers killed of course, but the harvester count now says 47 drones to the 39 SCVs. Make that 51 drones in HayprO's favor. So HayprO knows the way to get back in the game is to get richer, and now destroying that defensive evolution chamber with his Spinecrawler. Meanwhile, we see a layer on the way and a medevac drop. Oh, HayprO, which simply will not let up the aggression. There's Queen getting sniped in moments, and the drones have to evacuate, but they're getting killed in huge numbers. They're actually trying to kill the Marines head on. Very brave, but less than wise. But HayprO simply don't have too many Zerglings around. Now some are building, but in a beautiful move, Happy just lifts them up, no one died, and they're not even in the red. Very beautiful done by Happy. He has been the most aggressive of HayprO's opponents so far in this GGvision Liquid Colosseum week. Macro hatchery being placed here, and will be able to provide some defensive fodder as well. But that Marine medevac drop is still a serious threat. And now adding another factory with Tech Lab, so it seems like heavy siege tank production, potentially Thors if we see Mutalisks coming out of HayprO, and indeed we should, because the Spire is on the way. Command center being planted for Happy now, but will be able to take his safe and cushy corner expansion, and now having learned his lesson, he knows that he needs to be quite defensive, and putting down a nice defensive architecture here with supply depots and a bunker. Moving out now, wanting to take some map control. Not a bad idea, and it seemed like indeed HayprO is now defending successfully against further medevac drops. We'll just have to see. Spire being more than halfway completed, and we see him making good use of his evolution chambers, just now finishing level 1 melee weapons and armor. Building a baneling nest as well, but it won't be out in time to stop this push, and this is quite a deadly force. So far only 0-0 Marines, but they're getting cornered again. HayprO is so good with the Zergling micro, being able to rip apart these tanks and killing all the Marines. Very nicely done. They are exchanging terrible blows here, these players, but for every victory there is a demise, it seems like, and HayprO is very, very proactive with his Zerglings, being able to take so much gain out of them. But now Happy trying to save something of that attack, being able to snipe one Overlord here. Very nice. Meanwhile, HayprO is tearing down the rocks at his high yield expansion, and will be able to plant a base there very soon. Bending is now completed, and we see flyer attacks as well as 8 Mutalisks on the way. So this will be HayprO's response to the medevac harassment and everything. He will take map control, he will dish out hurt. Happy, however, is no newbie, and he has already erected a turret line around his base that is very reminiscent of what we used to see in the Brood War days. This is how Terran players used to defend. Now we see his new command center being not planted at the safe corner expansion. He knows he needs to respond to the economic expansion of HayprO by doing the very same. Even though this is more risky, this is of course more rewarding, and HayprO, rather Happy, will take his gold. Meanwhile, action is happening all over the place. The medevac is finally killed in a combined Zergling and Mutalisk effort, so that threat is for the moment eradicated. Expansion now building here at high yield, and upgrades are going, building as much as he can, using them to the full, and long distance mining with drones. A good thing to have a forward macro hatchery, that's always something. Queens being placed optimally in order to larva inject at both places, and we see the beautiful creep spread now starting to take form here, and Mutalisks crashing into Thors and getting slayed by Marines. Not very good at all, losing almost all of them and taking serious damage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is definitely a back and forth game, and I can't say who will be the victor, but workers killed and units killed, Happy's definitely in the lead. Now going ahead with his level 2 infantry upgrades as well as vehicle weapons, and flyer attacks and level 2 melee and armor on the way for HayprO. And they're both looking fairly good, though of course Happy is ahead in the economy game, already having his high yield up and running. Income tab shows that 2.5 towards 1700, even though HayprO has got more harvesters. Another attack is now coming, and this is quite a ferocious Thor tank Marine medevac composition. This base looks very precarious, and if HayprO can hold this, it's indeed quite a feat. But now Baneling, Zerglings and Mutalisks are crashing. The Mutalisks are taking tremendous damage from the Thors, and there's a good spread on the Marines. Many of them die, but the tanks are still standing, and the Mutalisks are getting roasted. Not even managing to snipe this Thor, who's got 1 health left. Now it dies, but Marines are up, killing drones, and with medevac support, these Zerglings won't be able to take them down without further reinforcements. Maybe in the combined drone circling effort? No, that is just a pure slaughter. This queen might get sniped as well. The tanks are still standing, but all the Thors died, and HayprO should be able to save his hatchery at the very least, but taking tremendous economic losses. Only now building drones actually, and Happy is looking very good. He might want to take a fourth base now. He is however losing these tanks, and with empty medevacs flying above, HayprO has successfully defended for now, but not without taking tremendous losses. Feels like he wants to now try to counter that with further aggression, but I don't know if he can take these. These Marines seems like they will be going down, but with further reinforcements, Happy will hold. And he's got tremendous Mutalisk defense with turrets all over the place. But again, for every unit killed by one player, the other one will respond by killing at least another two. Marines now breaking down these destructible rocks, and he's taken his fourth base. HayprO should look to do the same. He's oversaturated here, and as he's building 8 Banelings, Happy is finishing up his level 2 infantry upgrades. But HayprO has the map control for now, and with some nicely positioned Banelings could definitely eradicate everything of HayprO's SCV lines. However, Happy's SCV lines, that would be. HayprO needs another expansion though. He is getting close to mined out at his natural, and he's only got a high yield fresh. He needs a fourth base desperately, and it seems like Happy is just one step ahead of our Liquid Gladiator in this game. Now moving out with more forces, who's of course 2-2 now, and his tanks got one upgrade in their weapons as well. Building more tanks and Thors. Banelings now guarding this fresh base, but the creep has been diminished, and the tanks are now taking a forward position. These are not too many Marines though. With a beautiful positioning, he could kill them all, but the Mutalisks are now without any Thors to counter them, causing terrible damage again to Happy's forces. And I must say, this time HayprO truly showed his skill and defended it very successfully. And here we see Zerglings now having broken down the rocks, being able to enter this base, but here a 5th command center is being placed. These Zerglings are not too many, but the entrance is open. He should be able to return with more forces and potentially kill a lot of STVs and mules. If these had been Banelings, Happy would not have been so happy right now, but these few Zerglings won't be able to do too much, but at least he forced Happy to abandon some of his map control by repositioning his units. Meanwhile, we see HayprO now being up here in the middle, only with one flyer attack. His Zerglings got 2-2, however. And it looks like this drone was intending to plant a hatchery up here, but with one Marine only, Happy will manage to prevent that. And we see very little happening in the building tab of HayprO, because he's up here, rather down here, busy taking out medivacs and whatever he can. But a beautiful turret line here makes it difficult for him to do so. This factory looks like it might be doomed, and that's indeed quite a healthy gain for HayprO if he can take down the infrastructure here of Happy, but it may not be enough. This is yet another formidable Terran force, now with almost 2 attack upgraded tanks. Yet no Thors though, so those Mutalisks, oh, that's actually one Thor. Mutalisk-ling Baneling should be able to counter it, but I don't know if he has the right composition. He's got many Mutalisks, but does he have enough Banelings? The positioning, Happy again moving very nicely out of the way, being able to avoid a lot of damage, but the Mutalisks are now facing them head on, and this is a slaughter on both sides. HayprO taking tremendous losses, but managing to take down all the Marines. But at what cost, ladies and gentlemen? These are not so many mutants as it was a while ago, and even though he's taking down the tanks, Happy is forcing him to pay dearly for every time he wins a battle. Now HayprO is indeed taking his fourth base, and Happy with mules have almost mined out his high yield, so Banelings now almost being morphed, but forcing to be cancelled. These Zerglings trying to get in here, and again they're forcing a repositioning, but they won't be able to do too much damage. And this is just like a macro command center really, moving now that one out to the 9 o'clock natural to take yet another base. Meanwhile, we see Mutalisks hanging out over here and almost outmined here, only 600-700 minerals left, being completely almost out here in its natural. This fourth base yet to be saturated. HayprO, he needs more money, because of course a Terran player with this heavy macro will mule out an expansion very quickly. and that's all good and well, but in a late game situation such as the one we are about to see here, I do believe it's the player who's got money left at the end who will be the victor. And now 4 turrets going up, but they will only go down very shortly because HayprO's Mutalist got there beforehand, now building his first planetary fortress actually, and will be able to secure this expansion. But at the very least he is surrendering mid-map map control by defending with all these Thors, Marines and tanks. More and more turrets are going up. I do like this. Happy do not mess around. He wants to defend against Mutalist, but here they come again before the turrets are finished building, and will be able to take them down and further delay this mining, but he should get the hell out of there before taking too much Thor fire. HayprO doing whatever he can, but again taking costly losses. But I reckon it's worth it, because the longer he can delay mining, the longer he can force Happy's troops to be not up in HayprO's business, he can continue macroing. We got 142 supplies Zerg army versus a 193 nearly max Terran. And I do hope to see HayprO take 2 more bases here at the 12 o'clock and at the safe corner clock expansion. Corner clock. Now we got 4 Thors slaughtering Mutalists left and right. There's not too much left of that threat. And we now have a tremendous Zergling force crashing in, but these are only Zerglings, and here come the Banelings. But the Marines spread beautifully, and the Thors can just soak up so much damage. Sure, they are losing many Thors, but managing to handle that attack very well, I must say. And now wanting to compensate for that by another medevac drop, it looks like. Happy truly holding his own, managed to defend what could completely have eradicated his Marine army very, very well, allowing the Thors to take damage and safely moving out now. We'll not be able to expand here just for the moment, so we will have to retract some troops yet again, but now we see another clash. Things are happening everywhere, and again the Zerglings are clashing into the Thors, able to take down the tanks, but will be able to take down the Marines this time, yes. And these Marines are being chased away, but somehow leaving 3 Thors and 1 tank still standing. And HayprO is currently producing 32 Zerglings, but he doesn't have them right now, and that is what he needs. These Mutants actually proving quite efficient at taking down this base. Now Happy is reinforcing with Marines and will be able to take down the last Mutalisks forever. Looking quickly at the unit tab, we see no more Mutants, only Zerglings, Queens for HayprO, whereas Happy's got a very formidable Thor count, well, less formidable now, but 32 Marines in production, and Happy should have definitely retreated these Thors while he still had the chance. And again, blows are being dealt left and right. Here's a medevac drop coming down, and with beautiful micro, Happy is lifting up without taking any losses. We'll be able to put them down here and cause some major hurt to those drones and prevent gas from being mined. And these Zerglings, considering the position of these Marines, won't be able to do too much. And these are beautifully upgraded 3 free Marines. The medevac seems to be almost out of energy, so they won't be able to do too much now, but they still remain a threat. And the attack weapons level 3 is now initiated. Happy's got a very stellar and deadly army indeed. Now we see Zerglings moving up, but he has delayed so much mining time, killed so many harvesters for HayprO. 58 in total to be specific, and with no Mutalisks around and with no Mutalisks in production, this remains a threat to HayprO. HayprO might be somewhat falling apart, and there we have it. Good job, Happy, and a GG from a Liquid Gladiator, who went undefeated through the Colosseum for 5 consecutive days, only to meet a champion who could actually take 1 game of him here on the 6th and concluding day. And I do hope you enjoy this cast, these epic games provided to GGvision.tv by Team Liquid Pro in order to enable you viewers to get a better insight into a player like Liquid HayprO, who's not as featured as some others on the Liquid team, hasn't been competing in so many tournaments and taken so many victories yet. I believe that you have seen just what he's capable of, even in games where he does not take the win, and that we will look forward to see him perform well in future events, and that you will come back for the next series in the GGvision Liquid Colosseum, where another member of that prestigious team will step into the arena and show us what he can do. If you liked it, feel free to leave a comment with your feedback. I am Sebastian Sjöberg, and it's been a thrill to cast Liquid HayprO in the GGvision Liquid Colosseum. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for more. GG and out. Exclusive, and they will showcase HayprO's Starcraft 2 skills in never-seen-before ways, and we can only look forward to wins as well as losses, perhaps potentially, but they will all be very epic games. So happy and flattered that we can cast this forward, ladies and gentlemen. You will see now a completed warning from the current player. Liquid HayprO will be able to scout the tech lab. I do believe, yes, indeed, we now see this, and considering that the Korean air has gone from quick gas, we can only think that this is indeed, yes, a Reaper opening. So this